What is good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Livin Big with Big Regg. I was sitting in the house and I just had a simple question, and it was, what is the true floor and ceiling of the Baltimore Ravens this season? The only answer I could come up with is the floor. They have to win the division. I know it's a tough division. The Steelers are stacking teams. They're stacking guys over there. Great coaching. Tomlin doesn't have a losing season. So that's something we're going to have to deal with when that comes. And hopefully we hand them their first losing season this year. The next question is the Bengals. Weapons upon weapons upon weapons. We're talking about the most stacked, possibly the most stacked offense in the NFL, especially after adding Charlie Jones. Now they got another slot guy that can go in there and cut guys up in the middle of the field. Now, what do we have to do about that? We got a bunch of young guys at corner that's going to try and be better, try and get better. But we have Caillou Blue Kelly, who I think is going to come in and be better than a lot of people think. Rock Ya-Sin, another man press corner who's going to come in, play physical. And of course, All Pro Marlowe. I think our defense will hold up pretty well, especially with Marcus Williams over top. Hopefully he has a fully healthy season. Then there's the Browns, right? Deshaun Watson, year 2 in the system. He's going to be better. He's going to be more in flow with the game of football. Now, does that equal wins? I don't know. His stack of weapons isn't as strong as everybody else's in the division, but they got the best run tandem in the league by far. And I don't think anybody's ever going to change my mind on that. But can it carry him to a division win? I don't think so. As I have it right now, Ravens finish 1, Bengals finish 2, and Steelers finish 3, with the Browns remaining in the basement. Now, that's not to say that all 4 teams can't make the playoffs, but it's going to be a fight. The AFC is stacked with names like Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and the list goes on and on for the amount of QBs in the AFC. I didn't even mention Josh Allen. Think about how stacked that is. Now, when you compare AFC to NFC, NFC is going to be a cakewalk for the Eagles. It's going to be an interesting season for them, but it's going to be a cakewalk. And I think my early Super Bowl prediction is going to be the Baltimore Ravens versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That's my early prediction. We'll see how I feel about midseason, but that's the Ravens ceiling in my eyes. The Super Bowl. And why not, right? You add a bunch of weapons to what is the number 2 quarterback in the NFL, and nobody's going to change my mind on that. You can argue all you want, make any statements you want. The number 2 quarterback in the NFL is Lamar Jackson. Hands down. He does it all. Throws, runs, even does his own contracts. You can't tell me that's not the guy. And he doesn't take a lot of hits. Mind you, his 2 injuries have been from hits in the pocket from a bad offensive line. And speaking of the offensive line, what do we do on the interior? Hopefully, Morgan Moses can give us a decent season. If not, I think we see Falele step in at right tackle. But on the interior, we have some major questions at left guard. Can Ben Cleveland be the guy to step in and hold it down? Now we know we drafted Voorhees. He's got another year because of his ACL tear. But when he comes in, I think he may be the guy to take that spot. Pair Voorhees with the rest of that offensive line, and maybe get a better right tackle. And that's I'd say top 10 to top 5 offensive line in the league. But it's got to be proven first, right? Stanley has to stay healthy. Um, can Linderbaum have another terrific season like he did last year? Or will teams figure him out? Let's see what happens. It's going to be a good year. Our tight ends are pretty good with Andrews and Likely. Um, that third spot can go to anybody, but I think Kolar is going to provide a good dual threat receiving, blocking tight end at that number 3 spot. He's not going to see the field much though with the amount of weapons we have this year. Todd Monken, that offense, let's see what he does. He knows how to use his weapons and he knows how to use the team to its strength. Now, can he use this team to its strength? Like I say, he's got the second best quarterback in the league. He's got a darn good running back in JK. And Gus will probably be there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that RB3 spot. I don't know if Justice Hill is going to be the guy. I do like Justice Hill personally because he can play special teams, he can catch the ball out the backfield, and he can run it. He plays pretty well last year in the absence of JK and Gus, and him being the first one of the 3 to come back from injury. But does he continue that momentum? I think he can. He's reliable for the most part. So I say, why not give him a chance, right? But he's got to battle it out. Earn your spot. Just like at wide receiver. The wide receiver 6 spot, I said was going to be Dante Demas Jr. Now, it is possible that guys like James Prochet, Tylan Wallace, finally get their shot while being fully healthy with a better coordinator and a better offense. Maybe they prove that they are needed on this roster. Now remember, Wallace and Prochet can both play special teams, and they both like playing special teams, and John Harbaugh loves that. I don't know how much of a special teams addition Dante Demas Jr. would be, so he might not end up that wide receiver 6, but he's definitely going to put up a fight. He showed some terrific ability for catching contested catches, and that was something that we were lacking for a long time in Baltimore. But now that we got that covered with Zay Flowers and OBJ, the question is there a spot for another big receiver, for a big receiver in general? Or do we want to stay small with great route running and speed? I mean, I think it works either way. Lamar's going to be able to hit that deep ball over top. And it's going to be a tough offense to diagnose for other defenses because Todd Monken has the ability to change that offense on a weekly basis based upon who he's playing. So now we'll really see how this team does as far as the film room, studying the opponent and stepping up to the next game, because that's going to be key. Because if the fact is that Greg Roman didn't study each team and he only put out whatever offense he wanted to put out, which is the same every week, then this team didn't really test itself as far as its knowledge of the NFL and the different offenses. Now this year, having to gel under a new offense coordinator with a brand new offense, they're going to have to get used to studying and putting together film work on a weekly basis to study the weaknesses of the team they're going against, instead of studying their own offense and how to be in the right place. Now it's a combination of both. See, that makes a world of a difference in the NFL when you're studying another team and what they're doing so that you can counter, compared to when you're just studying your own offense and saying, this is what we're running, let's get it right 100%. It makes the game a little more difficult in some ways because you're multitasking with focus, but on the same hand, it makes the game better because now you have a game plan that you know can work against the opponent rather than just trying to force your style to work no matter who the opponent is. With that being said, Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Young guys like Ojabo stepping up after Achilles injury in a redshirt freshman season. Let's see what he does. I keep hearing he's going to provide tremendous pass rush, so let's see if that's actually true. I know if he does, I'll be excited to see it. Bring it on and be great. Justin Matabike, you're another one. You've been getting better and better every season. I look forward to seeing you break out. Broderick Washington, you played well last year. Provide more pressure. Travis Jones, straight out of UConn. Huskies. Show him what you could do. You're a man beast. Get in there and be one. I need everybody to show up, even my linebacking core. Now, I know Patrick Queen right now is up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen? But maybe, just maybe, he gives us a phenomenal year and gets an extension with Baltimore. And then him and Roquan for years to come will terrify other offenses. And then I know what you're saying, but what about Trenton Simpson? Trenton Simpson doesn't have to play inside linebacker. He could be our nickel guy. Come in, play that box role like Kyle played last year. Play down in the box, all over the field. Tremendous athlete. He can even step up and rush the passer to give an extra hand on the edge. Now let's see what happens. Like I said, the basement is winning the division. Right? That's our floor. We can't go any lower than that. We need to win the division. We haven't won it in the last few years. It's our year to do so now. And the ceiling, Super Bowl. Let's take it all. Let's go get that ring and go straight to the moon. Now this has been another episode of Livin Big with Big Regg. I thank all my subs and anybody viewing for your viewership. I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again. Stay blessed. Peace.